important units. What were the laws they administered, the laws they must obey? Something certainly of that mysterious law which Maeterlinck had called the spirit of the hive, and something infinitely greater, like that which governs the swarming sunbees of Hercules' clustered orbs. Had there evolved within the keeper of the cones, guardian and engineer as it seemed to have been, ambition? Had there risen within it a determination to wrest power from the disk, to take its place as ruler? How else explain that conflict I had sensed when the Emperor had plucked Drake and me from the keeper's grip that night following the orgy of the feeding? How else explain that duel in the shattered hall of the cones, whose end had been the signal for the final cataclysm? How else explain the alignment of the cubes behind the keeper against the globes and pyramids remaining loyal to the will of the disk? We discussed this, Ventnor and I. This world, he mused, is a place of struggle. Air and sea and land and all things that dwell within and on them must battle for life. Earth, not Mars, is the planet of war. I have a theory, he hesitated, that the globe magnetic currents, which are the nerve force of this globe of ours, were what fed the metal things. Within those currents is the spirit of earth, and always they have been supercharged with strife, with hatred's warfare. Were these drawn in by the things as they fed? Did it happen that the keeper became tuned to them, that it absorbed and responded to them, growing even more sensitive to these forces, until it reflected humanity? Who knows, Goodwin, who can tell? Enigma, unless the explanations I have hazarded be accepted, must remain that monstrous suicide. Enigma, save for inconclusive theories, must remain the question of the monster's origin. If answers there were, they were lost for ever in the slag we trod. It was afternoon of the second day that we found a rift in the blasted wall of the valley. We decided to try it. We had not dared to take the road by which Norhala had led us into the city. The giant slide was broken and climbable, but even if we could have passed safely through the tunnel of the abyss, there still was left the chasm over which we could have thrown no bridge. And if we could have bridged it, still at that road's end was the cliff whose shaft Norhala had sealed with her lightnings. So we entered the rift. Of our wanderings thereafter I need not write. From the rift we emerged into a maze of the valleys, and after a month in that wilderness, living upon what game we could shoot, we found a road that led us into Gyantsy. In another 6 weeks we were home in America. My story is finished. There in the trans-Himalayan wilderness is the blue globe that was the weird home of the lightning witch, and looking back I feel now she could not have been all woman. There is the vast pit with its coronet of fantastic peaks, its symboled calcined floor, and the crumbling body of the inexplicable, the incredible thing which, alive, was the shadow of extinction, annihilation hovering to hurl itself upon humanity. That shadow is gone, that pall withdrawn. But to me, to each of us four who saw those phenomena, their lesson remains, ineradicable, giving a new strength and purpose to us, teaching us a new humility. For in that vast crucible of life, of which we are so small a part, What other shapes may even now be rising to submerge us? In that vast reservoir of force that is the mystery filled infinite through which we roll, what other shadows may be speeding upon us? Who knows? End of chapter 31. End of The Metal Monster by Abraham Merritt.